It is Christmas Day. A cold winter breeze sweeps through the streets as families gather to celebrate, filling their homes with warmth and laughter. But inside one small, local restaurant, things are about to take a very different turn. The restaurant, modest but cozy, is decorated with twinkling lights and holiday cheer. A few patrons sit scattered at tables, enjoying their meals and the festive atmosphere. The air smells of fresh food, and the soft clink of cutlery fills the room. Into this peaceful setting walks a man, a black veteran, dressed in a simple jacket, carrying the weight of his years of service. His face is calm, but his eyes reveal a depth of experiences most people could never imagine. It is Christmas, and like many others, he has come to enjoy a meal in a quiet place, away from the hustle of family celebrations. As he walks in, the staff is busy, and the sound of a bell rings as he steps inside. The veteran's presence is met with the routine glance of the restaurant staff. That is, until one waiter locks eyes with him. The waiter, young and seemingly indifferent, quickly shifts his gaze, looking away as if something in the veteran's appearance unsettles him. Without a word, he walks over to the veteran, but not in the friendly way you would expect on Christmas. His tone is cold, his demeanor uninviting. There is an underlying tension in the air, but the veteran, unbothered by it, quietly waits for the next steps. The veteran steps into the warmth of the restaurant, his boots softly tapping against the floor as the door swings shut behind him. A quiet smile crosses his face, just for a moment, as he takes in the familiar smell of roasted turkey and freshly baked bread. Christmas in the air, after all. It is supposed to be a time of peace, of celebration. He walks towards an empty table, hoping for a nice, quiet meal to mark the day. The hustle of the kitchen is muffled in the background, and he feels a small sense of calm wash over him. This is the kind of day where people come together, share a meal, and enjoy the little things. But then, just as he is about to sit down, he is met with a voice, not one of warmth, but one of harsh dismissal. The waiter approaches him, his eyes scanning the veteran from head to toe. His expression doesn't change, but there is something about it that feels off. The veteran, though, doesn't notice immediately. He is used to walking into places, enjoying a meal in peace. But this time is different. The waiter stands at a distance, arms crossed. "Sorry, we don't serve your kind here," he says, his words dripping with disdain. For a moment, the veteran blinks, confused. He wonders if he has heard that correctly. But as he looks into the waiter's eyes, the coldness is unmistakable. It is not just a refusal to serve. It is something deeper. The tone is loaded with prejudice, with something that has been buried for far too long. The veteran, a man of composure and dignity, doesn't flinch, but the sting of those words cuts deeper than any wound he has ever had to face in combat. The waiter, looking smug, adds an insult for good measure. "Maybe try somewhere that is more suited to your type." The room goes still, as if the air itself is holding its breath. The veteran, though, remains calm. He doesn't react. He doesn't shout or argue. He simply stands there, absorbing the words. The veteran stands still for a moment, his eyes locked onto the waiter's. His face is unreadable, like a man who has faced far worse than a rude comment. The air in the restaurant feels thick with tension, but he doesn't move. He doesn't shout. He doesn't even flinch. Instead, he takes a slow breath. It is a breath that carries years of experience of walking through battles, both external and internal. He has learned that silence can often be more powerful than words, and in this moment, that silence speaks volumes. With quiet grace, the veteran looks down at his coat, adjusting the collar, as if gathering himself for the next step. He doesn't need to react. He doesn't need to give the waiter the satisfaction of a response. The best way to handle this, he knows, is simply to walk away. Without a word, he turns on his heel, his boots making a soft click on the wooden floor. The veteran walks past the tables, ignoring the surprised stares of the few customers who had witnessed the interaction. Their eyes follow him, but he doesn't seem to notice. His focus is solely on the door, the cool air waiting for him outside. He reaches for the door handle, pausing for just a second. It is a brief moment, but it feels significant. With a final glance at the waiter, the veteran steps out into the cold air, leaving the warmth and hostility behind. There is no need to argue, no need to escalate. He has made his decision. The door shuts softly behind him, and the sound echoes in the empty room, lingering in the silence left by his exit. Outside, the veteran walks through the chilly street, the bustle of the holiday crowd fading into the background. He doesn't rush, taking steady steps as he moves forward. He has already begun to let go of what happened inside the restaurant. For him, it is just another challenge, another moment to rise above. But what the waiter didn't know, what no one inside that restaurant could have guessed, is that the veteran's story is far from ordinary. This is not just any man. This is a man who has served his country, who has worn the uniform with pride, fought on the front lines, and sacrificed more than most could ever comprehend. His military service shaped him, molded him into someone who understood the value of patience, discipline, and resilience. But the veteran didn't stop there. After returning from his service, he didn't let the challenges of transitioning back to civilian life hold him down. Instead, he channeled his skills and determination into something entirely new. He became a successful entrepreneur, building his own business from the ground up. The business world was a different kind of battlefield, but it was one he was more than prepared for. With a keen sense of strategy, sharp decision-making, and an unwavering work ethic, he built a company that today is thriving. His name might not be widely known, but his success is undeniable. He has made smart investments, created jobs for others, and turned his experiences into a foundation for growth. Yet, as he walks away from the restaurant, none of that success matters to him in this moment. His wealth and accomplishments aren't about impressing others, they are about proving something to himself. He doesn't need the validation of a stranger, especially not one who can't see past his own biases. The veteran's true identity is not defined by a label or a uniform, it is defined by who he is and what he has achieved. The next day, as the sun begins to dip low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the city, the veteran returns to the same restaurant. It is as if he is walking back into the very place that tried to challenge him. But this time, he is not just a customer, he is carrying something much more powerful: his resolve. He steps through the door again, the bell above the entrance ringing softly as he walks in. The restaurant looks the same warm, inviting, the smell of food hanging in the air. The holiday decorations from yesterday still twinkle, but the atmosphere feels different now. The veteran's presence carries a weight, and everyone in the room can feel it. This time, he doesn't look for a table. Instead, he heads straight for the back, where the staff is preparing meals. The waiter from yesterday spots him immediately, and his face shifts, nervousness creeping in as he recognizes the man he had refused to serve the day before. Without a word, the veteran approaches him. He stands tall, calm, yet firm. The waiter looks like he is trying to avoid eye contact, but the veteran doesn't let him off the hook that easily. "You remember me, don't you?" The veteran's voice is steady, but there is an undeniable strength in it. The waiter shifts uncomfortably. "I was the man you refused to serve yesterday." The veteran pauses, allowing the weight of the moment to sink in. The waiter stammers, mumbling an apology, but the veteran doesn't seem interested in hearing excuses. "No, I don't need an apology," the veteran responds, his tone resolute. "What I need is for you to understand something." He takes a step forward, his eyes locked on the waiter's. No one, no matter their race, their background, or their past, should ever be treated like that in this place, and no one should have to endure that kind of treatment again. A brief silence fills the air, and then the veteran takes a breath. I have made my decision, he says, almost matter-of-factly. I am buying this restaurant. The words hang in the air. The waiter's jaw drops in surprise. The veteran continues, explaining that he will make sure the staff is trained to treat every customer with respect and dignity, ensuring that discrimination has no place here. This restaurant will now be a place for everyone to feel welcome, regardless of their skin color, background, or status. The veteran doesn't just walk away from the problem, he steps in, taking action. His calm demeanor remains unchanged, but his decision speaks volumes. With that, he turns and leaves, confident that change is coming, and that this time, things will be different. As we reflect on this powerful story, one thing becomes clear. Respect and equality are not just words, they are principles that should guide our every action. The veteran's response to the waiter's prejudice wasn't one of anger or retaliation, but of strength, dignity, and conviction. He showed us all that standing up for what is right doesn't always mean raising your voice. Sometimes it means taking action in a way that makes the world a better place for everyone. This story reminds us that discrimination, in any form, has no place in our society. We all deserve to be treated with fairness and respect, no matter our race, background, or any other difference. The veteran's decision to make a change speaks to the power of standing up against injustice, even in the face of adversity. If you believe in the importance of respect, equality, and standing up for what is right, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Let's continue to spread the message of kindness and fairness together. Please note that the story shared in this video is a fictional narrative created for entertainment purposes. While it carries an important message about respect, equality, and standing up against discrimination,